Let me abruptly move over and ask you about choice. We began the session with Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst and Senator Patrick at a Catholic school here in Austin, talking about expanding school choice and the possibility of some kind of a voucher program that would allow kids to migrate out of the public system where schools are not working and into potentially private or parochial schools. We now seem to have moved away from the idea of a voucher. Voucher is now a V word. You can't even say it out loud. And we're now talking, it seems, instead about an expanded open enrollment that might include additional charters, but not taking public money as far as it goes out of the system. Is that your reading, that vouchers, as we understand them to be, are effectively dead this session?
Well, I don't think so. Senator Paxton introduced what is similar to a voucher, a scholarship program yesterday.
Right, but what Senator Paxton introduced would very deliberately not take public dollars and move them out of the system. What he would do is offer a tax credit for businesses who wanted to contribute to a scholarship program.
But that would otherwise be public money if it's a tax credit.
Right, but the accountability measures that would accompany tax dollars migrating out of the public education system, as I understand it, would not follow these dollars into private and parochial schools. Is that right?
Okay. Let me just go back to your original question.
Yeah.
I'd say that on anything that takes public money, either directly or indirectly, it's highly likely that our committee, if I have any sense of my committee members, will not support something that takes public money into a private setting without accountability for how that money is spent. I think that the accountability must flow with the money.
So if Senator Paxton's bill, as I read the news accounts of Senator Paxton's bill, as I understand it, Senator Paxton's bill was written deliberately to wire around this concern that there would have to be accountability that would accompany these public dollars. So you're saying if Senator Paxton's bill does not provide similar or same accountability that the public dollars would have, even though they're doing this as a business contribution with a tax credit, you all think
if it's a tax credit, I'm not sure it's a contribution. It now removes state money.
Yeah.
I don't want to prejudge the votes of my committee members.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you just did.
Our guess.
Yeah.
And my guess is it will have a very difficult time in that committee.
Right. Well, but for a limited program that would expand school choice by way of more generous open enrollment within districts, or allowing more charter schools
within districts.
Within districts, and allowing more charter schools to be approved.
Increasing what we call PEG grants, the ability to move between districts or between schools. I think that will get fairly significant support.
Yep.
I think the expansion of charters up to a reasonable number that can be processed will get significant support.
Yep.
I think the question becomes more taking public money to private entities without accountability.
That's the concern.
At that point, I think it begins to bog down.
There seems to be a lot of support for expanding the number of charter schools as part of a choice program. I wonder whether the TEA's budget was cut to a degree last session, and it was cut significantly, that there are enough inspectors or investigators or whatever you call them. Is there enough oversight within TEA to bust the bad charters? If we're going to expand the number of charters, we want to be sure that the good actors are good, but that the bad actors are out.
I don't want to speak for Senator Patrick at this point, but he seems intent that we not only expand the cap, but that we close down the bad charters, the ones that are not performing, and pull those charters back and make them available to better performers. Right. And I support him in that effort.
Do you understand that Senator Patrick, because we still haven't seen his legislation, as he said to me last Monday at Rice, I have to file a bill by March 8th. That is tomorrow. That's tomorrow. So we haven't seen anything. He's going up to the wire. So I'm asking you to...
I'm not going to file a similar bill.
You're not. Well, but what I'm wondering is, do you know if Senator Patrick intends to put into his bill some mechanism to increase the oversight of charters? Because saying he wants to increase the oversight is one thing, but TEA's budget was cut. That's where the work would be done.
Boy, I'm hesitant to speak on behalf of a senator, but in our conversations he has indicated that he would be careful that any expansion would be accompanied by a mechanism for good oversight and control both of existing charters and for proposed new charters. Yeah. And in our conversations he's been consistent in that message.
Do you know what's going on with his bill? We of course expected to see something by now. As I said last week, Senator Patrick's legislation.
What legislation?
Well, that's the point. My question exactly. So I emailed him last night and said, where's your bill? And because he said March 8th, and he wrote me and he said, I'm going to be filing a lot of bills between now and tomorrow.
I think he will file a lot of bills between now and tomorrow.
Could you just share, we'll keep it in this room, but could you just tell us, could you tell us what you know about what he intends to do?
Yes, I can tell you what I know about what he intends to do.
You have the floor.
Thank you.
Oh, you could tell us.
That's what I know about what he intends to do.
Okay, very, very sneaky.